Merch Minds Podcast, episode number 88. My name is Glenn with Hustler Hacks, and I am alone today. No Yong. He is sick from the last podcast. He still hasn't gotten better. I have no clue what's going on with him. He's stuck in bed. He cannot show his mug on YouTube and have his voice on here. Even the last podcast, this guy was coughing like an animal. So it's good that he's taking a break, he's resting, and we'll have him ready to go for the next episode. But this episode, we're going to be interviewing Jacob Bates. He's giving us some tips here and there about Create Space, about merch, and he's been in Merch by Amazon for, I think, since 2016. So he's also been out there in different Facebook groups and helping out different tips and hints and hacks and different things like that. So we're going to talk to him today. Let's start off with merch numbers. Yong's out here. I can give my numbers and then a little bit of news, at least what I've been going through with merch and some of the changes. So the last 7 days, 118 products sold, 7 returns, and estimated royalties $361.85. So right now, we're still kind of going through the Father's Day, a little bit of slump. And I really wanted to get some new pop sockets and some new shirts uploaded this weekend. Did not happen, and not only none of the new products uploaded, but I had to go back. I talked a little bit about it last episode. I had to go back and make changes to the older shirts that I had that still had some wording regarding the fit and things like that. And so I went back at least, when did I finish? I did most of them on Friday. I was supposed to hang out with some of my friends, but of course these friends are married. They can only do so much. And then one of them, he at the very last moment couldn't do anything. We were supposed to sometimes these are older buddies that I've had for a while, play poker, hang out, blah, blah, blah. It didn't happen. And then again, he also has kids, so he's in limited action. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I have a lot of free time. I just got to get this done. And I went through all the other shirts that I had left on making these changes. I edited them, every single one. It went through the whole process. It didn't take as long as uploading, one or two. Like if you're uploading a brand new design, a single shirt, compared to editing them and having them go through the process again, it doesn't take that long, just making the edits. And I did all of those. I finally finished, I think, the last set of them on Saturday, but Friday got most of them done. And man, did take a while. And I did notice that it kind of refreshed a little bit of those old designs. Some of the older ones that I just edited ended up selling, so that helped a little bit more. I think one of the days on Friday or Saturday, I sold like 20-something shirts. Today, it's still 4 p.m. and I've only sold 6, so it is a little bit slower today. Also, I'm also recording this a little bit before the holiday because we are going to be out, me and Yong both. So I wanted to get this episode in to make sure it's set just in case I'm running a little bit late from the holiday. So I think going into it, also just sales a little bit down. On eBay side, though, has been good. Sales have been up on that side, but for the merch side, a little bit down. And not only that, returns. I've gotten more people asking me about the returns, what's going on. So it looks like, if you remember the last episode, I think I was at 12 returns, 14 returns. It was the highest it's been since they showed this whole little return thing. But now I'm at 7. It's somewhat going down. But like I talked about before, it seems like Father's Day shirts have been the most returned so far. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. And the people that I've talked to, it looks like the same thing. Father's Day shirts are the ones that are being returned the most right now. We don't have any other merch news. I think everyone right now is just trying to get pop sockets in, trying to get as many as possible uploaded. And I think I've only sold maybe like another 1 or 2 since then, the last time we talked at the podcast. But now that I'm done editing, I really want to get more uploaded and I can focus more on that. So I'm just glad this whole rule change thing that I'm done editing those, because that was like my main concern for the last weekend. Even for the YouTube and eBay side, I wanted to do more, but all the attention just switched to making sure all those shirts were edited and good to go. All right, so let's get into our interview. This podcast and this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than another one, since it's just me today, lone wolf. But let's get into the interview, talk to Jacob, and then I'll see you guys after the interview, and we'll recap a little bit. All right, guys, like I told you before, Yong is sick. He's down and out, but the show must go on. And special guest, Jacob Bates in the house. What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So we have what I like about bringing in the guests, we get to figure out and see how they've been doing on merch. I know you've been on merch for quite a while now, and on Facebook and helping people out, different tips, everything like that. So I want to do a quick intro and then we'll get into it.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I got started on merch. It was like late February, early March of 2016. So, coming up on 2.5 years now. Started doing the Facebook group, started helping people. That's what I really like doing. That's what I really enjoy doing. I'm still uploading. I actually have like 2,000 pop sockets I need to upload. I have like 2,000 or 3,000 more shirts I need to upload, or put some of them back up. So it's been a fun journey, but I really enjoy the helping people, doing this type of stuff that we're doing here.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's been rolling up on 2.5 years. It's been on quite the journey though.
For sure. So how are your numbers been since the beginning? Have they gone up? Have they gone down? What about a little bit about your journey with merch?
Like since the freeze in December, January, February sucked. But since like March, it's climbing back up. I'm just honestly every day I just prepare for Q4. I don't really care about my numbers now. I care more about like the October through December 31st ish. And then into January as well, a little, because that's like gift card season, some people call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a journey, that's for sure. There's the good days, there's the bad days. I don't know how you and Yong are doing on merch right now, but little slump after Father's Day happens every year. It's the slow season right now, so I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah. And what about for the people that do get like a little discouraged? Like Young's been on a little like discouragement thing for a while because he's trying to get his numbers back up. It sounds like he's trying maybe a little too hard, but for the people that are a little maybe discouraged or like in a little slump, do you have any advice, like what you would, I guess, tell them and try to like keep going and motivated?
A lot of people just don't understand. Like right now, a lot of people aren't sitting inside hustling or like sitting inside shopping. They're on vacation, they're celebrating this, or 4th of July, it's this week. They're out doing stuff. So, you don't have people sitting inside all winter long when it's cold and, just sitting there browsing on Amazon on their phone. So, just understand like every business has slow periods, and, merch is the greatest business thing I've ever seen. It's free. Other than your time, it's free. Or obviously if you outsource, that's when you start, playing with numbers and stuff, but it's free. So, just keep pushing along. And kind of what I tell people is like tier 10, tier 25, tier 100, you shouldn't really be looking to make money. You're looking to get tier 500, tier 1,000, 2,000. That's when you can start playing and, making money. But your tier 25, tier 10, 100, those things, your goal is just to tier up. So don't be sitting here looking to make a killing at tier 25. Like your goal is to tier up so you can, in the future, you can have, your 1,000 shirts, 2,000, 4,000 shirts up or whatever.
Let's talk a little bit about like rules and everything. So recently we saw that maybe like it's almost been like a month now that they changed like the whole shipping and quality of shirts that you're going to put in the description and all that. Have you gotten a lot of emails and DMs about like, hey, do you think this is okay? Or should I try this or not?
I've actually, so when it first happened, the groups all blew up.
Yeah.
Like, can you do this? Can you do that? And I've received probably 100 messages now asking like, can I do this? And my answer every time is like, no. Like, just like, so this shirt, it's an American flag. I have a Jeep. So, there's a Jeep in the corner. I actually bought this from Amazon. But it's like, describe this design. So, this is an American flag Jeep shirt. Describe it, like, put it's an American flag with a Jeep shirt. Obviously, don't use Jeep, but like don't say easy returns, don't say hassle free, don't say comfy shirt. Like don't put any of that. Just don't even talk about the shirt whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think other words that Young was talking about was like premium and things like that. And I mean, it makes sense, but I think also for the people that maybe did it a little bit earlier and are up to 2,500 designs or 3,500 designs, going back and editing all those shirts. And that's the thing, though, too. I tell people like Amazon, they might change the rules one day to the next, and only thing we can do is adapt, make the changes, and keep building it up. Now, the ones that don't and don't want to, if you get terminated or something, I mean, that's just what comes with it. But I can only imagine trying to edit like 4,000 designs.
I know someone I was mentoring for a while. I believe he had 800 designs that had something up that he had to go in and change. So he sat there and busted out all 800 in a day or two. And he was like, listen, I'm going to make a lot more money with my merch account. It's not worth having their chance of being terminated. He's like, I'll just do the work for a day or two, get it back to being in their guidelines, being on the straight and narrow, and I'll just keep moving forward. And so that's what he did. And he just kept going on with it.
Yeah. I think I had like half of my designs back from like early mid 2016 that I still had a little bit of some of those wordings in there. And I was like, man, I really got to go back. This whole last weekend was like cranking out, changing all those designs. But I was in the same mindset. Like, it's definitely worth it. I'm not going to, fight it. It is what it is. Make the changes, continue on, and then just, add more, more designs and everything. Let's talk a little bit about design. So are you outsourcing? You do them yourself? What do you do?
So I don't really want to plug anything here, but I have a big team of designers. I have a graphic design service. So yeah, it's all outsourced at this point. I still design for myself here and there because I miss it. That's what I love graphic design. So actually my uncle was the lead photographer at Ohio's biggest newspaper for 30 years. So at like 12 years old, he taught me Photoshop. Pretty well, pretty much everything you need for someone who uses Photoshop. So, I still do designs here and there, but no, I outsource 99% of my work now.
And for the people that are, I mean, you said, well, of course you have your own design team, all of that. For people that are looking for like designers, is your number one rule the same thing with us? Like, don't go to Fiverr, go to try to find something legit. Or what is your kind of like rules to finding, let's say, like a good designer you can outsource and trust?
Run them through samples. So, I don't go to Fiverr. I don't go to Upwork. I really like onlinejobs.ph.
Okay.
I've had a lot better return there. You can actually pay monthly there. You can actually get a better rate on there because Fiverr and like Upwork, they take a percentage. I think it's like 20% they take of their workers. So, they have to bump up their prices so that then, they're still making what they want to without Fiverr taking too much. So I really like onlinejobs.ph. The other thing is just run them through samples. I'll tell them go create 100 designs. And so I have tons of resources. I probably have 50,000 resources between brushes and fonts and vectors that I'll give them access to. But I'll sit there and I will search through every single one of those designs they return for me, looking for copycats, looking for anything too similar. I just vet them very, very strictly. One red flag and I'm not going to hire them.
Yeah. And I think to me, communication is probably like between communication and design is going to be your next best thing that you really need to figure out, because if you can't necessarily communicate with them or the language barrier is kind of there too, you're going to go through like cycles of the same thing over and over again. So I'd probably say, at least my advice side too is like, know that you can communicate with them and trust them, because it's going to,
I want them to have like a solid internet connection. That's huge because, if you write them a message, let's just say you're going through, let's just say you're going through Upwork and you write them a message, they're online and it takes them 15 minutes to reply every time. Either one, they have bad internet. Two, they have to sit there and translate every single message, write their message back, translate it back to English and send it. So, make sure they have good internet. And then just make sure they understand the basic English. They don't need to know every single word, but they need to be able to understand you and reply quick.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just gonna be a mess without that. What about pop sockets? So we got the news. You said you have like 2,000 designs ready to upload. How
Yeah,
many do you
like
have live right now?
2,100 upload. I have like 25 or 30 up. I've just been
Okay.
slammed. You know, 4th of July, the create space. I've been working on that a lot. So, you know, I kind of got addicted to that about
Yeah.
a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. So, you know, I have like 2,100 designs. I just need to sit down and upload them, but I've just been slammed.
And from those like 25 or 30, have you sold a couple of them
Yeah,
or you're
some of
still?
them are starting to sell. I mean, nothing major yet. I'm
Yeah.
more, you know, they were just like some stuff I kind of already had that was done, and then I uploaded them. Actually, my buddy uploads them for me. So you know, next time he comes over here, I'm just gonna tell him like, don't work on anything else until all of these are uploaded. So hopefully, in like the coming weeks, you know, I can say, oh, I sold 100 pop sockets this week or something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I'm excited for him, but I know there's people that have uploaded 2,000, 4,000 of them. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna put my best foot forward and see what happens with them.
Have you been testing out like any price points or you've been pretty strict on like the 14.99
Fourteen
and
ninety nine.
yeah, that's what I kind of
Um,
figured.
yeah, I don't really want to sit here and mess with them too much. I just want to kind of keep a flat rate that I've seen working for, you know, other, because you know I do a lot of research. So you just look on Amazon. There's a lot selling for 14.99. So I'm going to sit there and compete right there with them. Get 2,000 of them up and 10% sell. I'll be happy.
Yeah, I remember someone, oh man, I can't remember. They had gone down to it had to have been like one of the lowest price points of I guess of the whole thing because they were making like 12 or 15 cents each or something. I'm like, at even for the work that you're putting into it, even uploading it, I'm like, it's gotta be worth more than that.
It's not worth
Um,
my time to go that cheap. You know, like everyone's sitting there, price low, price low, price low. Like, okay, if you're at low tiers, that's one thing. Your goal is to tier up. But you know, once you get up there, you have slots and everything. Your time has a price tag on it, and
yeah,
you know, making 10 cents or 50 cents a sale just it's not worth my price point. I can go do other things. I mean, I can go to a thrift store and flip stuff and make more than 50 cents. Um,
yeah.
per ever however long it takes to list every item. So you know, I'm more about, you know, long term. I'd rather 1,000 shirts that sell a month than two shirts that go trending or making selling a whole bunch at 12 cents profit each.
Yeah, totally. And I was telling people, once you're getting into the pop sockets, at least well, even told Yong too, and we kind of talked about it, but just start off with like your best selling shirt designs. If that's working, as long as it makes sense. Like obviously if the shirt says like, this is my Mother's Day shirt, obviously you're not going to use that for the pop socket, but if it makes sense, try that out first. And then, maybe move into different designs and seeing what's going to work.
Yeah, and stick to shorter stuff. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
stuff that have 20 words on them. Those words are going to be so tiny on a pop socket. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because people might still buy them, but odds are you're going to get some returns.
Yeah, totally. And I guess going back, so now that we have pop sockets, we don't know what's coming up next in the future, but long sleeve hoodies, all of these, how does that look like for you? Are you pretty much all shirts and then mixing in these pop sockets, or do you have a lot of hoodies and long sleeves in there?
I mean, I have let me sit here and think about this actually. I mean, I probably have a good bit of long sleeves and hoodies up, some sweatshirts, but I make my money from t-shirts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not uploading one design on all four products. You know, you get a new design, I'm not uploading it on all four products or whatever. Just because you're really not building out your account, you're just spamming it with the same thing over and over and over. I mean, you know, you could take 250 designs and have 1,000 uploads out of it, or you could take 1,000 designs and have 1,000 different products. So, you know, if like someone doesn't like the design, it doesn't matter what the product it's on. So if something starts selling well, I'll throw it up on a premium or a long sleeve or a hoodie. If I catch it and you know it's still doing well, but I don't sit here and just this design's going on four products, this design's going on four products.
Yeah, and then I guess resizing them, and even looking at the numbers game, like 14.99 on the pop socket is actually going to give you a better return. I mean, if you look at like the hoodie, you're pricing the hoodie at like $40 or something. like you're still making. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, I'd rather make the money on the shirt. They're going to pay less. More than likely, that's probably going to sell than spending double and plus, I guess, on a hoodie.
I should do a split test and see like 100 designs, 100 on a t-shirt, the 100 on hoodies, and see which one wins out. Or maybe like 500 designs on t-shirts, 500 designs on hoodies, and then just, see which 500 win. Do more hoodies sell or do more like t-shirts sell, just to kind of see. I could even throw pop sockets into it.
Yeah. And even seeing the hoodies, I mean, right now, depending where you're living, it's probably not super cold. Depends where you are. I mean, some people it's still a little cool, but at least with t-shirts, you can wear them all year round. So same thing with the pop sockets, you can use them. But long sleeves hoodies, you're kind of limited. I guess once it starts getting to fall and winter. So I guess something also keep in mind, I guess, for the people trying that out. Niche research and getting that done. I know. So I think a while back also you had like kind of like a master list and people had going in through that. How important is the niche research, even compared to the design part? I mean, do you think one of them is more important than the other, or equally?
Most certainly research all the way. So I don't know everything you're into. Do you do FBA?
Yeah, well, I do a little bit, but I used to do a lot more before merch came.
Here's kind of like, my point to people about research. Someone sees an idea, they create it, they upload it. That's as far as they go. They just see an idea and they upload it. So like with FBA, would you walk into, I don't know, Walmart and buy one of every single shampoo to sell it without scanning each one to check your competition, to check your profits? I mean, you wouldn't do that. Any business is like that. So
Yeah.
Go check your competition, go look at what colors are selling. Like I spend almost all of my time on research. Just because that's how you're going to get back the best results. You're not going to be able to sit here and just go through Pinterest, create 100 designs you saw on Pinterest, upload them to merch and expect, wonderful things, because 10,000 other people have already done that system, have already have sat there and done the same thing you're doing. Like, go research the niche. And a lot of people are like, I don't know how. It's like, go learn to personally connect with them. That's how you're going to win. Go learn what colors sell. Go learn what type of text sells. Go learn what ideas people want that don't have a lot of competition. So yeah, research is everything to me.
And it's because everyone wants, everyone wants a shortcut to where, like, I want to know what's selling now so I can just make that. But unfortunately, it's not the way that it works. On any business that you're going to run, it doesn't matter. So if you're going to throw in one design of 10,000 teacher designs and t-shirts that are out there just on the teacher niche alone, I mean, how much can you really expect? And especially if you're at the 10 tier, 25 tier, and then match that with maybe a somewhat okay design, you're also not really going to get that far. When it comes to research, though, would you say like cross niching as far as like, hey, teacher shirts for a certain day and try to combining 2 or 3 of them and really narrowing it down?
Yeah, so there's like a couple different ways I go about research. So there's like niching down, combining niches. So like if you look at nurse as a whole, there's tons of designs up. But you sit there and look at geriatric nurse, for example. There's like probably 150, if I had to guess, 150 to 200 total results for like geriatric nurse. Now, okay, I know some people are probably sitting here thinking like, oh, not many people are probably searching for that. Well, there's a lot of geriatric nurse stuff out there. So, like going into a smaller field of the whole thing and then crossing them. The other thing is learning to connect with them personally. You learn what an EMT says out in the field. You learn their language. You're going to sell a lot more shirts than someone who has no clue about it other than I'm the world's best EMT.
Yeah. World's best grandpa and those kind of just, I guess, very generic, but like you said, learning the language.
So I just typed in geriatric nurse here. There's 53 results on Amazon for it. So, it's, you just have to find your thing. You have to find your rhythm. Nurse as a whole has over 5,000, and I'm sure it's way more than 5,000, probably 15, 20,000. Oh, now it's showing over 30,000 results. So just for merch shirts. So keep that in mind when you're researching. Just You need to niche down. You need to learn to personally connect with them. It's just, yeah, I love research. I could talk about it all day.
And also just, I mean, testing. A lot of it comes down to testing, and you're gonna have to figure out what's working or not working. And there's sometimes too you're like I tell people this all the time, especially through email. There's designs that I felt super confident about, even doing the research, and it's like one sale. And then there's some that I was like, this is okay. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna throw it out there. Yeah, and then it sells, and I'm like, man, I really didn't expect that. But now that I know, hey, this sold well. Now let's go all in and make more and find ways we can build upon this one that's doing well. And I think that's what a lot of people, I mean, some that really do successful are trying to do, of course, the same things, but the ones that are a little bit lost right now on the lower tiers, these are the things that it's like, yeah, but I don't have time for that. Like, I want to make sales now. I want to do this now. But you really have to take the time and effort to research and test, figure that out.
Yeah. I see it all the time with low tiered people. It's like, I've loaded 10 shirts. Why aren't I making sales? Well, you just put something up that has 6,000 shirts that say the same exact thing. You're just going to get lost at sea every single time. Yeah. I don't know. Merch is definitely a bizarre world. A lot of people just want success now. They don't want to wait, or they don't want to put in the time and hustle for it. So, I mean, we see it both of us see it every day. We see the people that want success but won't work for it. But it's really just, if you spend quality time researching, knowing what you're doing, you're going to win. You're going to win every single time.
Totally. And you, I guess on Etsy or Printful or other print-on-demand platforms, you're really focused on merch.
I do Etsy. I don't really do Redbubble. I mean, I've uploaded some things there just to kind of like know a little bit about it. So if someone asks me some questions, I can kind of give them somewhat of help or direct them to someone who knows more about it. Etsy, by far, I love it. It's just, I like the upload process, going through Printful. So like some people use like Printify or Custom Cat. I just really like the process of Printful, selecting your design, seeing what it looks out like on every single of like the 100 different products they order or offer. So yeah, it's merch is definitely first. Second is Etsy. It's fun. I enjoy it. I don't make nearly as much as I do on merch, but it's a good change of pace for someone who does this all day long.
Yeah. And so you're testing out like other, I mean, they have like leggings and like shower curtains.
I've not done leggings. I haven't, I've really only messed with like, when I first started, I did some crop tops. Those did decently well. Haven't really uploaded any more of those. I did some V-necks. Women's V-necks did pretty well. But other than like just, t-shirts, the 3/4 sleeve, like baseball tees, those sold really well for like teachers and Halloween stuff.
Oh, okay.
I had one lady order like 13 of the same one for all her teachers' friends. So Etsy is definitely more of a female-based thing. So at times it is kind of hard for me to like not necessarily come up with ideas, but just produce like what a woman wears. So I research as best I can, but I actually ask my fiance a lot too. Like, do you like this? Do you like this for Etsy? Because it is mainly a female-based market.
And I think Yong, we've talked different times. It seems like there's also like some personalization in there. Like some people might contact you, want some personal type of designs of kind of like what you're already working on anyway. And then Yong goes, as he says, above and beyond to help them out and to make something like that, which is different than merch side, because whatever you see, I mean, it's pretty much it. You don't really know who's necessarily the seller or anything.
Yeah. That's probably like my one thing of Etsy I don't necessarily like. Some people love it, but I mean, I'm so busy already that, I don't have time to answer 20 new messages a day on Etsy. Like, excuse me, can you customize it like this? Or can you do this? Or, like I love Etsy, but it is frustrating at times when you get a whole bunch of messages saying like, can you do this? Or, people will message you like today and be like, can you have this shirt to me by 4th of July?
Yeah.
No, I cannot. I'm sorry. There's no way I can get it to you by 4th of July. So, it happens. I've also do you do Etsy?
I did a little bit. And then right now I'm just like, I was like, you know what, if there's too many things going on, with like YouTube and eBay and stuff, I know I'm just gonna kind of like struggle and have it sit there. I was like, I really just got to focus on the merch side.
Yeah. So, what was it? I just totally lost my. Oh, sometimes so it'll say like a package is delivered. This is an issue I've ran into probably 4 or 5 times now. I'll get a message like, when will my shirt be here? I'll go and check the tracking number, and I'll say it's been delivered. And like 4 or 5 times now, they're like, well, I don't have a package. So I don't really ever know what to do in those situations. I always tell them like contact the post office.
Yeah.
And then if they don't get anything back from there, I'll contact Printful, see what's going on. But that's only happened a few times.
Yeah.
But it's a situation I don't have to deal with on merch.
Yeah, it just turned into like a whole customer service type of thing that
I already do enough customer service as it is that another customer, it adds up.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to be messing with that stuff. All right. So Jacob, what are you working on now, and anything that anybody can look forward to as far as like, I guess, what are you working on right now? The main things. I mean, you have a lot of things going on, but what do you think you're most excited about right now?
Right now it probably is Create Space.
Okay.
Y'all, you
Is
saw
this the
Yong,
journals?
yeah, the journals.
Okay.
It's just a different swing of things. I know everyone that I know taking Create Space seriously is like crushing it. For the journal side, so I've been super excited about that, converting a lot of my t-shirt designs to like journals and stuff. Because I probably have 10,000 designs or so just sitting here. That's either been on t-shirts, need to go on t-shirts, or pop sockets or whatnot that just need to go up. So I've been really into Create Space these last like 2 weeks, but overall just building out as much as I can on merch. Getting everything ready for Q4. We're at the point now that everything you upload now will be up through Q4. So I'm excited about the next like 6 months or so on merch. Hopefully they give us some new products, but who knows with them.
Yeah, totally. And how long have you been doing the journals?
Like 2 weeks now.
Okay.
So, not long, but some sales are already coming in. Actually, a couple of them, 2 or 3, I think it's 3 now, have reviews, which I thought is awesome because, on merch, like shirts, it's odd to see reviews. Like, I'm sure I have tons of designs that have reviews, but I don't have time to go back through and look at all my designs to see, oh, does this one have reviews? Because realistically, it doesn't really do anything for you. But yeah, I mean, they're selling nothing crazy yet. I also only have like 30 up now. But I'm converting. I have 800 ready. So, after this week with 4th of July and everything, my buddy will be back here uploading full time. So the 2,000 pop sockets will be going up, and then 800 covers so far will be going up next week. So I'm excited.
And we've interviewed Kelly, and she's like crushing it big time, of course, on the whole journals and everything there. What I guess for someone that's in the merch side, they're going into the Create Space side, what is the thing, like 1 or 2 things that you struggled with?
Understanding interior files for sure. It kept giving me like an error, like does not bleed right. And coming from merch, you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I actually ordered, so I put one up, ordered one for myself just to see, because it kept giving me this error just to make sure it looked good, and it looked great. So I've just, every time I see that error pops up, it's the same template I use every single time. I just ignore it now because I've seen it in person. I know it prints well. It looks really well. I actually use it now. But understanding certain things aren't going to work on journals and certain things will. Same thing with pop sockets. Go look at what's selling on Amazon. Go spend a couple hours looking through Amazon, seeing what type of journals they're selling before you convert 1,000 designs over to Create Space.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good to know. And I know Kelly kind of explained a little bit about the files part, and it was probably the most confusing about the whole thing. But I think once you figure it out, you just keep rolling through them, and it is going to take you a little bit longer to list through Create Space than compared to merch.
I'm working on something for that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, because merch, I mean, you got like 4 pages you go through, and even then you could just autofill most of it. You're done, and just kind of get all of those in there. But with the Create Space part, it does take a little bit longer if you're looking on doing that. For the people that are listening,
it's super fun. Just know, like, you're gonna probably get aggravated at first because, like, I understand interiors really well now, but like starting out, it just kept giving me this air, and I was just like, what does this mean? And but you know, now I'm actually understanding it. I can upload pretty quick now. I can convert files over to covers and everything really quickly. So it's fun. It's kind of like Etsy. It's a swing of things, but I'm happy that it's also on the Amazon platform. That's why it's interesting me so much, because it's print on demand, just journals instead of apparel or now pop sockets.
Yeah. So you want I guess want to tell anybody a little bit more about what you're working on as far as that goes, or not yet? It's still early?
It's a little early. I mean, it's
Okay.
going to be a Google Chrome extension, so um, I don't know if it'll actually ever come out. I mean, I have a developer working on it. You know, I already have some money invested in it, but it's pretty much just going to be a speed uploader for CreateSpace. So, you know, you don't have to sit there and click next and next and next. You can set like your presets and settings. So, have you ever uploaded to CreateSpace?
I did, and yes, it
So, you
was a
know,
little struggle in the
you have
very
to sit there
beginning.
and click through everything and set everything. So the extension, my goal is to make it in the end. So you can go into the settings of the extension. It auto selects what you want. So, you know, you can have your bleed on or off for the template and the cover. And then you can have your price already set. So then the only thing you would do is have like a section where you click. So it'll be like an extension. You select your cover, you select your template. You'll have a thing for keywords, your description, and price. But other than that, it pretty much auto fills everything else. So it'd be like a one page extension that you just upload all that, click submit, and it will go through and do everything in the background for you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be a big time help, because if you're going to CreateSpace, please know that the platform is
From
older.
2002.
Yeah. So when you look at it, like it looks straight, you know, like you said, from 2000, 2002 range. And when you look at it, you're like, what's going on here? I guess compared to like KDP, Kindle Publishing, if you're doing that side of it, it's two totally completely different platforms, especially when uploading. It looks like Amazon has maybe put a little bit more time and effort into the KDP side compared to the CreateSpace. It is a little bit older. So
Yeah, it's definitely an old looking platform, but you know, that's why I'm kind of working on this extension. I got you know, the foundation of it set. Just now it's working on all the back end stuff, which if you've ever developed anything, you know, can be a pain, and sometimes it just doesn't pan out. So you know, if in 3 months I've put $5,000 into a developer and it's just not working out, I'll just cut my losses. It's okay.
did you or are you uploading on KDP too, or just
CreateSpace. I
okay?
mean, I have some stuff on KDP, but it's like actual content, not
Yeah.
journals.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So let's once we get Yong nice and healthy, we're just gonna catch up with you. Let's try to do, you know, maybe later on this year once it's Q4 time, or maybe after, because we don't really want to bombard that time. It's gonna be the biggest, you know, busiest time of the year for everybody. But let's catch up, see how you're doing on merch and the CreateSpace side. So anything else you want to say where they can contact you, or
Um, I mean, I just have my merch group, so no, not really. Thank you for having me on. Hopefully, Yong can get back on here. Hopefully, he gets feeling better here soon. But just thanks for having me on.
So super quick interview with Jacob. It felt quick. It was actually like a good 35 minutes or so, but good interview. And like I said, he's been in the merch game for a while. I think the next time we bring him on, we can try to get a little bit deeper into some of the tactics and things that he's gone or been using. But now that he's doing CreateSpace, it looks like a new, you know, project for him. Let's see how that does and how that works for him, and we'll catch up with him after that. Email me if you have any questions on merch or eBay or YouTube or anything you want. Life advice, just kidding. But you can contact me wherever you want. Hustlerhacks1 at gmail.com, and help you out any way that I can, especially on the merch side. And also let me know if you watched my recent video that just came out last Tuesday. It's really an update from the first video that I did, making 55,000 on merch, now 115,000 plus on merch. I did a part 2. I just talked a little bit about the ups and downs on merch, as far as, you know, going through my suspension, adding more shirts and designs in, kind of going through my little slump where I was just kind of tired of uploading on merch. I think I just done it for a long time, and also just getting hyped up and riled up about seeing, good numbers as far as eBay goes, and I really enjoy that. And it was kind of like also just like a slump on the merch side, but I talk about that in the latest video. Also, just talk about secret sauce, how there's different things and channels and videos out there that are going to tell you how to make money quick on merch, and it's totally not like that. I've been through the ups and downs throughout this whole 2.5 years or whatever long I've been doing this. It's not easy. And a lot of the emails, and DMs that I get asking me certain questions about it, I'm going to answer them truthfully. And a lot of it comes down to niche research, just like we talked about with Jacob, design part, and going through that and seeing what's working and testing all that out, because it isn't going to be some quick fix to where you're going to make an easy $1,000 here, $10,000. I mean, it's out of control on some of the things that are going to try to hook you in. And I'm going to tell you, it's been tough. I'm proud of the numbers that I've made so far in my somewhat merch career, but it was not easy. And especially from the very beginning, when I put in nonstop hours sitting in the front of the computer, designing and uploading over and over and over again, and seeing what was going to work and not work, and the ones that did work, then I upload as many as I could possible. And since then, I think that's what also kind of hurt down the road, like already being 2 years in, and having kind of like that slump of not being that interested, because I was kind of worn out from the whole uploading and designing part. And even what Ken Reel had told me and Yong before too, like you have to take a break at some point. And the suspension was also kind of good for me at some point to kind of just rest a little bit from it, and seeing the merch and designing over and over and over again. That's almost what kind of hurt me in the full-time job, because I was sitting on the computer and just focused, and just like, oh man, and over time your eyes get tired, everything starts looking the same. Niche research and design part, I was like, man, just seeing it over and over again. But I do feel a lot better since then, especially now, and re-energized on it. And we've talked about it. I've still made, between 1,800, 2,300, $3,000 up and down here and there from merch, even from the latest, 4 to 6 months. So I'll gladly take that. And yes, I know I'm going to have to build up. Yong seems like he's trying a lot harder than I am to build up, because I have so many other things going on, but I enjoy each and every one of them. And if I was only dedicated to merch 100%, sitting here doing designs, I would probably go crazy, because I do love graphic design. But at some point you got to get out. And for me, even the tagline, go out and get it, I can't sit here, for hours and looking at a screen. It just can't do it anymore. But I like balancing all of them in there, and growing pretty much all three that I can: YouTube, merch, and eBay. So that's where I am. And like I said, email me if you have any questions on anything. hustlerhacks1@gmail.com. I'm here at hustlerhacks on YouTube. Next week we'll have Yong. He's ready to go. He's feeling better. We'll see you guys next week.